And next, I can't believe we got lucky. Satchel made it in. Yay, we're going to pop the champagne cork. Oh, we're not allowed to do that. Talk about inappropriate. I don't think we're allowed to drink on the air here. But no, it's a treat. Satchel is going to be part of the fun gathering that's going to be happening. It's kind of a special 420 celebration happening it's there at the Veterans Center in Kihei. And it's going to be the Exiles, Kanekoa. I know Fatima with Maui Waui is going to be the Randall Respond of Haiku Hillbillies and more. And a lot of fun food and auction, live art, and good stuff. So, hey, hi, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm impressed you got to take off. Usually you're working and we can't get you away from your work.
Oh, I'm like in some, in some back room sanding away or something like that. And
so you brought your guitar, too.
Yeah.
It's a nice one. What is it, a Martin? It looks like a Martin, but it's not.
No, it's a Taylor.
A Taylor, nice, beautiful. It's a lovely kind of deep, rich wood. And you've been doing writing, I've heard, and you're actually doing some, are you thinking of doing a CD? I know you've been doing some songs and things, and a lot of people know you for your singing, and a lot of people might have seen you with the Exiles doing the Mick Jagger thing.
Right.
Without the heart attack. And he didn't have a heart attack. He had to have a valve replacement. I mean, it was like, oh, my God. Mick Taylor, valve replacement, oh, my God, But you do a very good job on that.
Thank you.
But besides that, we have this other side, this rather interesting side that is kind of bluesy and great kind of soulful guitar playing, too.
Yeah, it's like a late 60s style, pretty much. It's like country, blues, R&B, through a rock and roll band's eyes.
Uh-huh. So I guess it's better than talking about it. Can I hear a song of what that sounds like in your mind?
You mean like one of my songs?
Sure. I want to hear what one of your songs sounds like. I'm going to bring a mic over that goes towards your guitar, and then we'll have one that goes towards your mouth, your Mick Jagger mouth. Without the tongue sticking out.
All right. Well, I just pulled this thing out of the car, so.
Okay.
It's gonna be
Okay. We're gonna move. What's this called?
There it goes.
Got it. Okay. Well, that sounds okay. Yeah.
I'll do one of my favorite songs that I've written myself. It's called Angeline.
Angeline.
And it goes like this. Where there's a place in writing, and all is fine. Guess I traced my arrival to your warm stare. We played in the garden, we had our share. Love died with vines and lace. Angeline, 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 what you done? Angeline. Oh, that thing's out of tune. And I lie awake all night 'cause you're not here, and I see the red of the sunrise, just like your hair, and I can't erase your charm. It's everywhere, so hard to start it clean. Angeline, 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 what you done? Angeline, oh Angeline, please say for certain, Lord, I'm done with pick a curtain, baby, lay it down and play English. Glad my guessing days they're over, but I'll be sad if I lost a friend. Angeline, 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 what you done? Oh, Angeline, Angeline, what you done? Oh, Angeline, what you done, baby?
That's great. Yay.
Thanks. I cut that one.
That is excellent.
That ending out of there, boy.
Did
that
you
guitar's out of
did you
tune.
do it in the studio, or did you just do it in your own? Do you have a little home studio, or what?
That one I just have basic tracks for. Mm-hmm. I just started a record right before I moved to Maui.
Oh, really? How many years ago was that?
4.5 years now I've been living here, and I just cut like 23 tracks on a hard drive, and with a really good bass player and drummer, and I came here on vacation. I never left, so I just cracked that. I just cracked that hard drive open.
A lot of people out there can relate to that.
It's
That happens.
It's kind of on the usual thing. But anyways, I just cracked that open with my friend Jeff Bowen.
You've really got to get that recorded.
Oh, thanks for saying.
You have the basic tracks down, right?
Yeah.
Oh, you just need to have the vocal tracks down?
No, just bass, drums,
Yeah.
guitar, and
You really need to get that done. It's a great song. But I have to say, when you started, did you move from here, from L.A.?
no, I came from Colorado. I did 14 years out there.
Well, did you? If you were in L.A., there used to be in Hollywood. I think it was on Vine Street. I grew up in
Heart
Los
Attack and
Angeles.
Vine.
Yeah, there used to be this huge 4-floor, 5-story picture of Angeline. And it's so weird. Do you remember that?
Oh, Angeline.
Angeline,
Like
yes,
she's
with the
famous
big,
for
yes,
being famous.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah, with the big.
Yeah.
And she actually, I was there for the Hollywood Music and Media Awards year before last, and a red Lamborghini pulls up, and on the license plate is Angelina. I look inside, and I just burst out laughing. That was Angelina.
It was actually her.
It was actually Angeline in the car.
Yeah.
So I had to get past that to hear your song. Cause
Block it out.
I didn't know, but I almost laughed because Angeline. But you do a great job on the song. It's fantastic. And I have to say, the first few bars did remind me of the Stones. Is it Train in Vain? When the train left the station and the red line.
Oh, that's Robert Johnson's Love in Vain.
Love in Vain.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you ever sing Love in Vain when you do the Exiles?
We have. Yeah.
It's a great song.
Yeah, I love that song, and their arrangement, their treatment of it, the way they did it's real nice.
Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, they did a great job with that one.
Yeah.
Absolutely. A Train in Vain, Robert Johnson, yeah. Yeah, so did you, when you moved from Colorado, you said?
Yeah, yeah. I grew up in Molokai I lived in Molokai from 73 to 80.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And
I can't imagine you on Molokai.
well, my parents moved there. I was a hippie kid, I was just running around the jungle with my long hair and bare ass,
With not much else going on.
It was pretty cool. I surfed and fished all day, and but I visited my dad in '80 in Colorado and decided to stay and went to junior high.
Is this kind of a thing you do? Is you visit a place and stay?
Kind of happens. Yeah. You guys want to laugh? I went out to L.A. to visit before I moved out there. And I'm 19 years old. My friend picks me up at the airport, and this is like, early '87, late '86. So on the news there was all the, the gangs shooting each other up over the crack cocaine in the city, right? So my friend picks me up at the airport. I'm like, all right, what's all the fuss with the crack? He's like, oh my God, it's all over. It's for sale all over the street by my house. So, I was 19 and adventurous, so I'm like, well, let's try it, make sure we get that one off the list. And it was awful, smoked a couple rocks. Like, that's terrible. So we're sitting around the house, smoking some pot, getting that Jones off, and the neighbor knocks and invites us to a kegger in Burbank. Now, I'm in Hollywood like 3.5 hours, and we go to the kegger, and Axl Rose is there. So my first 6 hours in Hollywood, I smoked crack and met Axl Rose, and I was like, this place is cool.
Well, there was a time, I don't know if it is anymore. I mean, I grew, I spent many years there, and
well, I was 19.
I was working at K-Rock, and God, how old was I then when I was working at K-Rock? I was 24, 23, 24 working at K-Rock, and in Pasadena, and I'd drive in. I was living for a while up in Topanga, and driving in on my Porsche Cabaret convertible, 1960 Porsche Cabaret.
Nice.
Driving, so it's kind of cool, right? You're going, yeah, you got the Hollywood thing down, right?
Uh-huh.
And then there were the great parties. There were some amazing parties.
Neil Young's house.
Yeah, there was. Well, that's Topanga. Yeah. But there were great parties going on that the record companies did, which wasn't at Neil Young's house, but they did, things at the Roxy and other places, But something's happened, of course, and I guess most people have left that scene. A lot of them, anyway. There's some that are still, living outside. They don't leave their compound unless they have to stay in your area.
Yeah, I have a pretty large group of friends that still live out there.
Do you?
Yeah.
But you don't go visit because you're afraid you might stay.
Yeah, I'm not worried about staying there. I did my time. I did my time.
I did my time too, that's for sure. So how did you and Niels and the group get together for, and I have to say the Exiles, I have to say I don't really like groups that do other people's music much. I really have to say that. I had not seen you before, and then this last summer, you did the Rolling Stones, tribute to the Rolling Stones, and that was at Mulligan's, and that was the first time I'd seen you and the band play. And I was blown away. I was like, okay, this isn't a joke. This is serious. This is really, really good music. And it's not just a tribute band. It's just people who are great musicians playing great music. And that I can relate to, more than, a tribute band. And then I saw you played at the Maui Fair and did that. And again, and it's just the full band is great. I mean, John Zangrando, and it's a drum. And every single musician in the Exiles are really good musicians. No one falls below the par of really being a great musician.
And it's a pretty large gang too, so it's really fun.
So
I've never done a
pieces?
lot.
8?
Usually 10.
Mm-hmm.
And when you get the 2 girls and the 2 horns,
It's amazing.
It gets to 10 quick.
Yeah.
And and I've never done any fronting at all actually without a guitar on. So
Oh, really?
It's been super fun.
I didn't know that.
It's like no responsibility. You just dance around.
Uh-huh.
It's great.
Well, no, you more pranced around.
Well, thanks for saying it.
More than dancing, you were prancing. But that's what Mick Jagger does, right? Mick prances a lot. I hope he's going to be prancing as much. He's still recovering, and it's going to be interesting on that tour.
You have to realize, that he's had a 24-year-old girlfriend for like 50 years.
I don't know. That's a story in itself, right? And then the band Kaneko is playing as well on the 20th, Saturday, April 20th. But Kanekoa's played with you before. In fact, they played with at the Maui Fair.
That same.
Kanekoa opened, and they are great. I mean, I mean, all kudos to that band. Another really excellent band. And you know, it's interesting because so many great world famous musicians have come to Maui, and it continues to grow. Paul Simon's moved here now, and of course, you know, all the other ones. And
That guy can write a song.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, that guy can write a song. That guy can write a song. I mean, he's one of the best lyricists in the world, and musicians. So, but
Well, how many guys can like write a song about and have a hit song about camera film?
and it worked, right? I mean, and it's relatable, right? Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and world music,
even
able to
fair.
bring world music, you know, in the early days before world music was acceptable, right?
He did whatever kind of beat he wanted. It
Yeah.
was like I aspire. Like I always liked that. I was like, man, how come he could do whatever he wants? And it always sounds like Paul Simon. That's cool.
Well, obviously, a lot of people have realized that they don't want to live in the other. And Dave Mason, of course, you know, has a house here now too. And I got a chance to interview him. What a cool guy!
Oh, I heard that. I was working.
He's got his throat thing issues now, though. He damaged his vocal cords on tour.
Well, he can pick though. He still can play
That's
guitar.
true, absolutely. But he is singing on the road, so yeah.
Oh, he's singing. So,
Oh, yeah.
When you guys were doing that, it sounded like he couldn't sing anymore. When you guys were.
Oh
on
no, he sings. He sings fine, and he was doing it with Steve Cropper, and they were just on the road with Gretchen Rhodes. But then about 3 weeks ago, he has a house in Reno also. He had to. Doctors said rest those vocal cords, and that's something you got to always be aware of. What happens is a lot of singers put their heart and soul into singing, but they don't sing the way the vocal cords really are supposed to be singing. So you can really strain the voice, you know. I mean, you don't think about that, right? As a singer, you just sing, right? But
Well, you have to think about it when you're out on the road and you're singing night after night.
Absolutely,
you
you
have to get it together, or you'll lose it fast.
Did you ever go on tour? Did you ever hit the road with any band?
You know, nothing big. Like I did a small tour with John Phillips from Mamas and Papas.
Yeah, yeah.
One of his daughters, her name's Bijou. I did a little tour with her, on the Lilith Fair, and then we opened for Bush in Manhattan, and then cruised out and played the '99 Woodstock.
Did you see the lineup for the 50th anniversary for Woodstock?
I have not.
Oh my God, it's amazing. They've got almost all the original players and a huge group of really excellent I mean, it's mind-blowing. 3 days of the most. It's going to put all the other fairs and all the other concerts and festivals to shame. I swear, it's huge. It's huge.
Well, I hope they do it right, because that '99 one was a disaster. It was
this one,
so bad.
This one, all they need is rain, I think, to make it real, very real. But I'm sure Woodstock's going to sell out. I mean, but I think it's going to cost more than the original one 50 years ago.
You think?
You think? Yeah.
Times 1,000.
But this is going to be a fun festival. It's the first year, the 420 Festival, happening Saturday, April 20th. And you don't know the time you'll be on yet, do you?
6:30.
Around 6:30? Okay.
Yeah, like right after dark. So
in Randall.
I always just say earlier than, I think it's 7.
It's a great place because you're right there on the ocean, really.
I just went and checked it out the other day. I'd never been there before.
Oh, you haven't? It's a nice spot. It's a nice spot. I don't know about the band, how the stage will be working out, but it's
not
a
bad. It's facing away from the ocean.
Okay.
And so.
Well, it's to check this out. It's only a $10 donation, which is very cool. And another person that's come in, and I'm glad you've come in to join me here. Let me get this microphone to your face, and we're going to talk a little bit about hemp. We're getting down to hemp. I don't know how to pronounce your name. Is it Lily or Lyle or
Lelle, like Kelly, but with an L.
Lally?
Lelle.
Lely.
Yep.
I've never heard that name before.
That's
I like
okay.
Lally.
If we were in Japan, you'd be calling me Larry because double L's are R's in Japan. I learned last year.
Do you know Satchel?
I don't. Nice to meet
Satchel
you.
Gleason.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Hi.
So you're on the hemp road.
Yes, quite often. I've been traveling for about 6 months. I left Maui to speak at the Jamaican Cannabis Convention last September, and then have just been on the road ever since, meeting with hemp farmers on the mainland, extractors, manufacturers, and really just getting a feel for where the industry is and finding out, information that our farmers and manufacturers will need out here to be able to make their own products once it's legal.
I guess you needed to do that because you're trying to get legislation in. I mean, so many people were hoping when all that A and B land came, it's like, well, why not grow hemp? And there's a long way that's come from the way people used to think about hemp and knowing the difference of cannabis and hemp and the background of hemp. But it's still a bit of a uphill climb to get to that point where people can grow it here, isn't it?
Absolutely. Well, Hawaii was the first state to actually have a test plot done of hemp. So,
oh, really?
Yep, it was. And we've just been very, very slow after that point in 1999. So we're waiting. We've been working a lot with legislation. I'm a director of the Hawaii Hemp Farmers Association. So we've got a lot of connections in Oahu that we've been working with to try to get the bills passed. And we've got one SB 1353 that is in the Senate. We are hoping to have signed this summer. So that'll allow
That's
for
important.
Yeah, more genetics and processing.
Well, was Woody Harrelson still involved? He was for a while trying to get hemp legal to grow here, I know.
I'm not familiar with Woody, but if he'd like to look me up and call me, I'm happy to talk to him about it.
He used to have a house out there towards Hana, I know, but I don't know if he still does it.
I've heard. I'm pretty much, I'm a botanical extractor and distiller, so I travel most of the time really just working with farmers and specific organizations. Hawaii Farmers Union United, Vincent Mina has been instrumental with the movement in hemp.
Yeah.
James Simpliciano, farmer, has been working very closely. He has got some land with Bobby Paia. They're going to be doing some hemp projects on Maui. But each of the islands have different people that are really able to empower, and we've all kind of come together with the Farmers Association to be able to give the tools and resources. And I do consulting.
Does hemp? Did they when the test came out? Did they find that hemp grows well here on Maui?
It does, and unfortunately, right now, though, we only have one chemovar or strain that they've legally allowed, and it's industrial hemp, so it's not high in CBD. So our focus is really getting a higher genetic strain variety that has a higher concentration of CBD, so we can extract that and the other cannabinoids. It's not just CBD that's beneficial. So as we
but
move
hemp has
along,
many, many, many uses besides just CBD. I know CBDs
Absolutely.
have really taken off, but I mean it's been used for lots of things for 300 years. It was grown wasn't it in the 1700s or 1800s?
It's been growing for thousands of years. Actually, in Japan, the Shinto religion is based off of hemp. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So I mean, hemp really, the difference between hemp and marijuana, it really, when you get down to it, they're both from the cannabis plant. Hemp has low THC and higher CBD and other cannabinoids. Marijuana has higher THC, lower CBD and other cannabinoids, but it's all a really wonderful, beneficial plant. And so, my purpose in this is really
more and more
educating.
clothes and things being made
Yep.
from hemp and bags and purses and, I'm seeing
Well, yeah, that
grow.
would be industrial fiber. So you can use it for plastics. You can use it, and it's much better as a biodegradable.
Oh, yeah.
You can use it for fabrics, and then there's a plethora of other things, whether topical or
Breakfast.
ingestible.
Breakfast. I like it.
I had it for breakfast this morning. Yeah, on my papaya. Definitely.
Hemp seeds?
Yes, hemp seeds, hemp extract. There's many, many ways that you can extract it, and each one is like a symphony. You've got different ways of applying it and getting a different result.
You got to write a song about that, Satchel. The hemp symphony. I can almost hear it now.
All right.
Yeah. But I didn't kind of tie the threads together here. The reason you're on also is because you're going to be out there 420 Saturday the 20th. That's why 420. And it's going on from noon to 9. You're going to be talking and actually educating people.
Absolutely, yes.
hemp.
I got they researched me and contacted because I've got Maui Hemp Spa. So we have massage that we're providing, and then we're also going to be speaking
you're going to have massage there.
We'll have just a little demo with that, and then speaking about the different ways that people can have for resources if they want to learn about hemp, if they want to incorporate it into their daily diet, or if they want to make products, and where to source that safely. There's a lot of public education that needs to take place.
Well, there's a huge amount of public education, and I was telling to you earlier about Terry Freitas Gorman, how much she's been working even with Maui grown therapies and trying to educate people about medical marijuana. There's a lot of education, and it's going to take years, but it's come a long ways. And I think, about 10 years ago, a lot of people didn't understand about hemp. And I think now people in the general public understand more about hemp than they did.
Absolutely. And if they don't, there's simple similes to make a reference to, which would be, and poppy seeds come from a poppy flower that can produce heroin or a bagel. So it's very similar with hemp, but even the extracts aren't as dangerous as heroin, yet that opioid addiction problem is something that people are still battling, and hemp is a way out of that.
It's pretty amazing how they suppressed it all these years. It's amazing.
It is.
Well, it is, and that's where really the education needs to be, not only on, what products to look for that are safe, but also just how to grow it yourself, how to extract your products yourself, how to treat your family, how to basically understand the plant. And then that way, if the laws change or if they don't, you'll always have that knowledge. And then you'll be able to expand that into other botanicals that are complementary, and you can really take charge of your proactive self-care. So
dig that.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's, pretty much become a full-time job for you. And I think that people do need to be aware. I was confused when I spoke to you earlier today. I'd heard that there was a bill about trying to make marijuana legal, which is also up in legislation, but that's not the same as the bill you're talking about. You're talking about a separate bill as well, right?
So we've been working with the Department of Agriculture on SB 1353, and so that would allow for more genetics, for the ability to have extraction legally here in Hawaii. Unfortunately, the part that I really wanted to be in there has to go to the DOH. So we've still got to work with them as far as being able to legally, once it's extracted, put that into products here in Hawaii. So that's part of why I've been traveling, establishing companies on the mainland. So once we do have hemp that's legal and we can extract it here, unfortunately, the legal routes right now would be to have it processed into legal packaging and legal facilities in the mainland, then shipping it back to Hawaii once that.
But you couldn't ship it right now.
Well, right now, so that's a gray area. I saw even this morning there was a comment made in a newspaper article saying that they made a stance against having products with CBD. It's legal federally, but there's the words CBD is now coming under fire from the FDA. Whether or not people are going to continue importing it, you see it popping up more and more in stores. They are starting to send cease and desist letters.
Are they? I hadn't heard that.
I've heard that there's quite a few that have gone out. I've been working on a beverage line, and luckily, the company that we're working with is one of 3 that are allowed, and this is a mainland company. But nothing, to my knowledge, is legally allowed to be put into products here, although we're selling it. So it's a risk, it's a gray area, but it's definitely worth it. And that's where, my consulting has come into play. I've been consulting with cannabis more than anything else this past 6 months, just educating people on.
Are you being funded, or because it's expensive to go on the road and do these trips?
So I've taken the money I've earned with consulting and put it right back into traveling. Some of my clients pay for me to travel to do this. But, for the moment, we're back. We've got a few different brands and projects that we've made that we're in discussions with companies. But ideally, I want to continue to advocate for Hawaii.
How do people reach you?
You can call me, or you can go to our website at allhempsource, allhempsource.com, allhempsource.
Well, we have about 3 minutes, and I want to go out with a song. I know you said your guitar's out of tune. I don't care. We'll pretend you're in tune, because it didn't sound that bad out of tune.
Thank you.
So I'm going to thank you. Bring this mic over to his guitar and let his guitar speak. And bring that mic over there so he can sing. And Satchel Gleason playing us out here.
All right, I'll do a Stone song for the
That's a good
420 thing. How about, we'll do this one. I'm going to do a song called Parachute Woman. Parachute woman, land on me tonight. Parachute woman, land on me tonight. Well, I break me down to New Orleans and overspill in Carolina.
woman, join me for a ride. Baba Sue woman, join me for a ride. Hell, I make my plenty dollars and I give to how I get in half the time. Sue woman, will you blow me out? Sue woman, will you blow me out? And my heavy drivers, you don't just to lay a solid rhythm down. Wow, 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 wow.
Great. Now that was a Stones original song. That
yes,
wasn't, yeah,
that was
Stones.
But Beggar's Banquet.
But you make it sound like it's an old blues. The way you play it, it's even funkier than the way the Stones did it.
Oh, thanks.
Satchel Gleason there on guitar and singing, sounding great, and
tune guitar
like Lelle on him. They'll be
and
at
when the Japanese say your name, it comes out Larry.
You can.
Because
It's 420 Festival Saturday, April 20th, from noon to 9 at the Kihei VFF, and you can see them all there. Thanks for listening. Aloha.
Later, taters.